So for this explanation, my brothers and sisters, I want to tell you a short story from something unusual, because normally we shouldn't have anything to do with this, but it's to make you understand how and why this is going. This story is about in religion, in Christianity. It was about a man, a carpenter, who was actually in contact with his God. But his God was not a God that everyone knew. His God was much more, has different kind of stories to tell, and different kind of morals, and different kind of things, that most of the people actually didn't understand what he was trying to say. Most of the people actually already judged him before he already said what he actually was. Later on, he had a couple of followers who could understand what he was trying to say, a couple of followers who came always by his side, to always to listen to his story, because they were triggered by his story. Um, but most of the people actually didn't like it, and they were even afraid that he was going to have much more followers, that he could have power. And later on, of course, he was executed because of his different vision that he had, a different light, a different God than the population had. And that is, my brothers and sisters, what I want to explain to you as well. He was some kind like a chosen one for God, or also what they call him now. He's like the, the Son of God, that you can say. And that is something that I see you as well. Of course, sons and daughters of God, to be more exact. But to be a chosen one of God is not at all an easy life, not at all, because there will be people or others who are triggered by your story, triggered by your love that you have for these dragons, that you can say, dragons that you can feel so much, like you are inside of the light of the dragon, and you don't even understand very much about it, but you want to understand it, so you talk with the dragons. And you most of the time, we unlike this story of this carpenter, unlike him, you remain silent, you don't say anything. It can be that you are going to be pushed away even in life. Most of the time it's been very well known that people who are chosen by God, or by spirits, or divine chosen one that you are, most of the time these people are going to be thrown away by humanity. Most of the time, these people are going to have uh, such a depression and completely darkness over them. It's actually a struggle, a fight that they are going to have all their entire life. But they are always encouraged by the light that they can feel, the light that they can see, the light that they know where they belong. And that is why I'm actually one of the only ones who are trying to shout it out to the world that, this is a light. The dragon's light is real. The dragon's light is something that you can take. If I did this 100 years ago, I might be executed the same way, because I do not belong here, actually, like most of us don't actually belong here. And that is the same thing like in this story. In this story, now they worship him like he's the Messiah. Whenever he returns, everything is saved. But back in the day, he was thrown out by humanity, thrown away. He was an outcast. There were just some people who were actually triggered by his light. But if he returned exactly to this date, then he would be thrown out again and again and always again. He would also be in a depression. He would also be, a lot of people, they are waiting for his return, waiting all the time, but in fact, they don't even know him. They don't know what they are, what he is, what he was, and what he wanted. And that is exactly the same with us. Whenever we talk about the dragon, what what does humanity even know about the dragon? Whatever you feel is divine. Whatever you feel is actually one of the chosen ones that you are. Not really just the chosen one, but you are more like a child of God. A child, a daughter, or a son of God, or several gods. But they are all the dragon. And that is exactly with every chosen of every god in this world. Religions might say there is only one. No, there are so many of them. so many creators, so many different stars, so many different lights. And one of these lights is the light that you are talking about. One of these lights is your, you can say, paradise, but it's actually not paradise. You just plain out don't belong here. And you actually are reaching out for the light that you normally, that you belong in. That is why you can have such a depression. That is why you are such a weirdo for all of humanity. You are just different. You are not like them. Most of the time, people like in this world, they are programmed to be the same thing, but you cannot be the same thing. And because of this, you might have this depression. You might have this losing it actually in this entire world, that you actually don't know who you are. Well, if you are triggered by the name dragon, I can tell you who you are. I can tell you that you are nothing less like the one that they are shouting out, Jesus, like I said the name, Jesus, Jesus, help me out. Well, actually, you are nothing less than that. You are a chosen one of God. You are a chosen one of a divine spirit. You are nothing just like a devotion, chosen one, but that is the reason why you struggle in this life so much. And everyone who is actually chosen by God or goddess or of the goddess, one of the gods, if you are chosen by it, then actually you are connected with God, you can say, the gods, and in this case, our case, the dragon gods. I don't mind any other gods because that is where we do not belong. But that is very common with every chosen one of God. And that is why people actually don't even understand what they are worshiping inside of religions. Inside of religions, it's all about power. It's all about manipulation. It's all in a bad way. Manipulation in a bad way, and it's nothing of the truth. They don't tell the truth. The truth is only to the ones that are being chosen by gods. In our case, we talk with the dragon gods. Of course, we do not talk in a physical way, we talk inside of the inner ear. That is the way how dragon spirits communicate. They communicate in a telepathic way. And we, as children of the dragon, we should actually know what they are saying. And it's up to us, if we are desiring to shout it out to the world what the dragon has said to you and how the dragon makes you feel and what kind of a light that they are sending to you, because that is exactly what is happening. They are sending a light to you, and this light in this world hurts because you can see the joy and love of the dragon, and you are trying to connect with other people and maybe they can understand it, but it just doesn't work because they don't understand it. And in the end, they don't need to understand it. That is exactly what happened so many years ago to the one that is worshipped to this day, but nobody actually knows who actually this man was. He's worshipped all over the world, but no one knows him. And who does know you, my brothers and sisters? No one knows you unless it's your family. But in fact, you are nothing less than divine and to be a chosen one of God. And that I can say to you, my brothers and sisters, everyone struggles in this life. Everyone fights their own fight, you can say. But I have to remind yourself that you are never alone in this. Never alone. We are with many. But it's not only that, it's because God is always on by your side. But don't think of the God of Christianity or Muslim or whatever. Don't think of a human God. Think of the dragon God. The dragon God that created your soul and path. The dragon God that created your trinity. The dragon God that created your dragon's eye. The one that is actually always watching you. Nothing less than that. Of course, it can be a struggle, and that is why I say it's so important. Actually, if you know someone like this, it's actually important to be a helpful hand for each other. In this life, we need it. We always need to have helping hands. And yeah, it's actually very funny because not funny, it's actually depressing to know that so many people worship a man, but they don't know him. And that is not what we ask. We, as chosen ones, we actually don't ask for worship. We just want you to listen. And if you are triggered by it, then maybe you want to know more. That is the only thing that chosen ones, you can say, chosen ones, want and desire, so that eventually, when you are awakened, you can join them. That is the reason why you speak the name of the dragon, speak in the name of the dragon, because maybe you can trigger brothers and sisters like this. It's not to fame, it's not to fortune, it's not nothing at all like this. Like in churches, they always say, like you have to worship him, but none of them, they know him. And like none of us know us, they don't know us, and yet you are nothing less than a chosen one.